Good evening. Welcome to Vibin with Ashley Live. I'm your host, Ashley Live, and this is episode 228 of my show. I am so very excited to welcome my next guest this evening because this is his very first interview, and it's the one and only Jeremy Kennedy. At 19 years old, Jeremy shines with his pioneering skill in psychedelic blues guitar. Jeremy's innovative flair energizes audiences with dynamic performances filled with infectious energy. Rattlesnake Trio, led by Jeremy, is ready to shake up the live music scene with their highly anticipated show at this year's New York State Blues Fest. And guys, thank you so much for joining us. And Jeremy's in the house, so let's bring him on in and get this party started. Hey, Jeremy.
Hey, how's it going?
Doing well. How's your night going?
It's going pretty good. It's going pretty good.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show, Jeremy. I know this is your very first interview, and you guys have just been doing so much around Central New York. And I had to talk to you because I saw this incredible video of you slaying on the guitar. And I told you earlier, I was like, who is Jeremy Kennedy? So we're going to find all about you tonight. So thanks so much for joining me on the show.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. So, when you think back to your earliest memories in childhood, what sparked your love for music?
I want to say we'll go back to like second, third grade was when I really started to find an interest. Like, um, I always used to mess around with the piano.
Mhm.
I never really took it seriously, but in third and fourth grade, uh, I had this amazing music teacher. Um, Unfortunately, we don't keep in touch anymore, but she was super supportive and she kind of got me into playing piano. So I started doing that, taught myself
Mhm.
how to do that. And I was super into classical music for a really long time. And then it went from like classical music to alternative rock and then
Mhm.
crazy genre shifting left and right.
Mhm. So, okay, your teacher, you said you're no longer in touch with her. What happened?
um just haven't reached out. Like we're friends on Facebook and everything, and uh, she's mentioned wanting to come to one of the shows, but we don't talk or see each other at all much.
So, she's never seen you perform live?
Nope, I don't think so.
Okay. Okay, so Jeremy's teacher, if you are watching this right now, you have to come see Jeremy live. It is an experience. It's like a religious experience. I think that's like the best way for me to put it. So guys, if you're in this chat and you you know Jeremy's teacher, please bring her to the next show. Bring her to the Blues Fest.
Oh yeah, yeah, that'll be a good one.
She's
Oh, good
got
one.
she's got to be there. So okay, so classical music, alternative rock. Who are you listening to all alternative rock wise?
um, it's mainly Green Day, Nirvana,
Hmm.
Puddle of Mud, Incubus. Incubus was where I kind of got introduced into that like psychedelic rock genre vibe. um, and a little bit of Soundgarden,
Hmm.
like 90s alternative grunge bands, early 2000s alternative rock, all that good stuff.
Hmm. I love that you said Incubus because Incubus did something as a rock band, very psychedelic. Like no one can even touch what Incubus did. Like it just
Hmm.
like you can't even really describe what you're hearing when you listen to it, but it's kind of
Yeah.
like have those elements of jam band and just like funk and soul and blues in all of their music.
Hmm. Yeah, it's an amazing group of musicians doing amazing things.
Yeah. So when did guitar enter the picture?
um Tanner, um, he had an acoustic guitar that our great grandma got him,
Hmm.
and he was learning guitar on that for a little bit, and it didn't stick with him. And
Hmm.
the guitar, that acoustic, sat away for a little bit, and I just randomly came across it while I was digging through our storage stuff when I was like 12,
Hmm.
13, and I took it out of the case. I'm like, whoa. I started strumming it, thinking I was so good. I was like, um, and then that was when I was going through my Green Day phase too, and
Hmm.
where I started watching some of their live videos. I was just like, oh fuck, I want to do that. I really want to do that. That looks fun.
So you start on the acoustic. How long are you playing on the acoustic for?
Ever since I started playing, so
Hmm.
um, since I was 13, I've been playing acoustic and electric.
Hmm.
Um, but electric became my main instrument within like the past 3 years.
Hmm. So acoustic and electric are totally different, right? I feel like most people that start on guitar do start with the acoustic guitar. What made you want to go over into the electric guitar phase?
Um, Again, a lot of it was just watching Green Day or listening to them, listening to Nirvana. And the thing with Kurt Cobain from Nirvana, like his playing was very just like he didn't give a fuck. If he was
Yeah.
sloppy, he still played through it, and it just made it seem like guitar was so accessible and so easy to do
Hmm.
to be at that level. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah. Because I feel like you could have just stayed on acoustic. I feel like there's a lot of amazing guitarists that stick solely on acoustic and don't cross over into electric. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But you
Yeah,
did.
absolutely.
And it's like now the point of no return. I mean, like, I've seen you play an electric guitar, and it is, as I said, it's a religious experience. I've honestly, Jeremy, I've never seen anything like it in my life. It's like to be in the same room with you and watch you play this guitar is absolutely mind blowing. Like I feel like it's like I'm in a trance. I feel like I'm in the part of your tapestry that's behind you. It is. I like. I honestly don't even have words for it because it's an it's an experience.
Oh, thank you. That's what I'm going for.
Yeah. So I know you touched on this a little bit of Kurt, a little bit of Incubus, but what musicians inspire you and how do they influence your style and approach to your craft?
Um, my influences are always changing. It's whatever I hear that just makes me want to pick up the guitar and play, or if I
Hmm.
just see something music related that's guitar related, and it just makes me want to do like, okay, let me try that out. Let me do this stuff like
Yeah.
that. Um, I don't got anything else.
So okay, so I guess in the past couple months, who's been inspiring you the past couple months?
um, I've been having a major Philip Sayce phase. He toured with Jeff Healey for about 4 years, I think, in the
Hmm.
early 2000s. Um, and if you've ever heard Philip Sayce, he's like the perfect blend of like Stevie Ray Vaughan, Hendrix, but you could also hear Jimmy Page, Jeff Beck, Clapton, all these other guitarists. And
Yeah.
it's like he merges all of that together
Hmm.
to make this superhuman guitarist, whatever he is.
Hmm. Hmm.
um, and he brings back a lot of that. I've seen him play. He signed my guitar, and the energy was so intense and so I can't even describe it. It was just I've ever since I saw that I've been aspiring to recreate an experience like that for anybody that's watching.
So when did you have that experience? Did you only see him the one time?
Yeah, it was I want to say around October or September last year.
Okay, so pretty recently.
Hmm.
So you see him. your mind is blown, you have this religious experience, you can't put it into words. It's kind of like when I saw you, but it's like you saw him, right? And
Yeah.
so you probably leave the venue and you're just like, whoa, I need to just have a little bit of that energy and give it to my people, right?
hmm
And
He
yeah.
he would do a lot of just, like, insane guitar tricks too. Like, he'd be doing some of the things that I stole from him. I gotta thank him because I've stolen a lot from him. But he like dragged his guitar across the railing, and he was playing with no pick in hand, and he's just going, and he's like tapping at the guitar. I've seen him do crazy things, and he's played with cups, he's played with drumsticks, cables, he's played with a towel over his hand, and like he's done a bunch of crazy shit that I don't even get how you even get that idea.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think it's like, right, we've seen a lot of guitarists over the years, legends, great guitarists. But when someone does some tricks and the energy's there, and like you do this thing where you take your guitar and you hit it against the drum set.
Yeah, I do that
I've ne-
sometimes.
yeah, I've never seen anything like that. And I was like, I'm like, "Oh, that's interesting. I've never seen that before. I thought it was really cool. You do a lot of things during your set, and I was like, I hope he doesn't break it. I hope you don't hurt your guitar. But I was
Yeah.
concerned at times.
The little things it gets just gives me more stories to tell. It gives it character. That's
Yeah,
how I view it.
yeah, because you're just like, oh, this is when I did this during that show, and then you're like, okay, it's like a scar or a badge of honor, if you will.
Yeah.
So, okay, before you got into blues, what were some of your hobbies and interests?
I was still, if I wasn't playing electric or doing any of that stuff, I was using the acoustic guitar
Mhm.
or listening to music on my free time. Um, and I used to play games. Not often. I would play here and there, like Skyrim or Red Dead Redemption, just like open world games, and then I would get bored of it and then just go straight back to guitar.
So, even though you had these hobbies outside of music, you always came back to it.
Yes.
Okay. So, you were telling me that you played guitar earlier. Can you talk to me about like a typical day? Like, how often are you playing, writing? Talk to us about that.
I'm playing every single day or when I can, whenever I'm feeling it.
Mhm.
Uh, it could be like I could wake up in the middle of the night and I hear something in my head and I'm like, okay, where could I go with this? Or like
Yeah.
just in the middle of the day, I could be eating and I'm like, oh, I gotta go right. Like it's just things like that.
Yeah.
Um, in songwriting, it's the songs I've wrote a lot of songs and it's never been for me just sitting down and trying to write a song. It's always been like just me noodling on the guitar and then I hear something, I'm like, oh, and then I have a whole song, but I can't sit down and be like, I'm gonna write a song. I need
Yeah.
to play this chord and this. That's gonna sound like this.
Mhm.
I can't do it.
So, it'll just come to you and you'll be like, oh, okay, I I just wrote a song.
Pretty much.
So, going back on that, how many songs have you written?
With the trio, I've wrote about like I think together we have wrote like 6 songs.
Mhm.
Um, maybe like 6 to 8 songs we've wrote.
Mhm.
Um, and then for my personal stuff, like whether that's on electric or acoustic, I can't say. I want to say like maybe an
Yeah.
album or two.
Mhm.
I just got to get into a studio and record them. I've had them like it's been I had this like acoustic project that I wanted to do
Mhm.
that I've always dreamed of doing since I was like 15. I've been doing it ever since I was a freshman and had access to the school studio.
Hmm.
Um, so I have a plan to put out like an all acoustic album, and I have, I think, 13 songs that are like completely written. I just have to record it and put it out.
Get up in there and just do it. Okay, so like, when can we get this? When are we getting this?
I want to try riding things out with the trio a little bit longer because
Hmm.
like we've just started out and
Yeah.
it's already exploding
Yeah.
immediately.
Yeah.
Um, but then I also want to start putting some of my own stuff into the trio sets.
Hmm.
But I feel like that would just like kind of separate me from the trio. And I don't want to do that because it's always like when we go out to perform, that's us, that's our music, and we are all doing that together. Because I wouldn't be able to play like how I do without either of them.
Yeah.
I need them in order to do all my crazy shit with the guitar and all that.
Yeah. But you could have a little part in your live set where maybe they take a break for, I don't know, 10 minutes or so. They remove themselves from the stage and you say, okay. And then you kind of switch up the vibe a little bit. They come back.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit, like where I just like either in the middle of a set break or the beginning of the second set, we would do like 3 or 4 songs
Yeah.
of just me doing acoustic stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that'll be cool because I think your show is so high energy to begin with. Like I can only imagine how much you're sweating during
It's
during a
so bad. It's
perf-
so
during a
bad.
performance because it is like it's like a full on workout.
Yeah, I feel completely drained afterwards.
You're just like it's just like cardio, high energy. Like you don't get a break. So
Yeah.
I think that break would be like, oh, we're gonna take a couple minutes. The guys are gonna sit off stage for 10 minutes. I'm gonna do 2 or 3 acoustic from there
Hmm.
because then you can like catch your breath. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
So, can you tell us about your involvement with the Mohawk Valley Blues Society and how it shaped your musical journey?
yeah. So the Mohawk Valley Blues event, the way I got introduced to this was I used to play guitar with this kid from Oneida. Well, he's older than me. It's like 21, I think now. Um his name's Quan Schneider, and we always used to play together. We were going to concerts and stuff together. Um I built a really good relationship with him. Um and he brought up the Mohawk Valley Blues event to me. He's like, Jeremy, we need to go and play here. And I was like, we can just show up, sign up, and just rip on the guitar. And he's like, yeah. I was like, let's go, let's go. He's like, bro, yeah, let's do it. So my father took us out to Piggy Pat's where the Mohawk Valley Blues event was, and Quan and me played guitar, and that was kind of like my first little introduction to playing blues live like that. Um, and ever since then, I've been going every single month or when I can.
Mhm. So, you go to this event. Talk to me about the feeling you get when you're playing, what the audience is giving you. Talk to me about that.
Um, what I like about playing at the Mohawk Valley Blues event is a lot of people, either before or after, will come up to me and will be like, Jeremy Kennedy, you're here? I come to this just to see you. And I'm like, are you serious? Oh my god, oh my god. Or I went to this Dark Star Orchestra
Mhm.
concert. They're like a Grateful Dead experience tribute.
Yeah.
And there was like 6 people, including the one of the security there, that noticed me because this is all based around Utica.
Yeah.
And they're like, Jerry from the Mohawk Valley Blues event. oh, and, you know, it was just like left and right. I was like, oh my God, I'm getting noticed. Holy shit. So I'm always happy to be there. Everybody's so supportive there.
Mhm.
And whether it sounds good or not, they're still like, you
Yeah.
know, and they're there for the music. And I do what I can to put on a good show for them. That's like one of my favorite audiences to play for.
Yeah. And so the energy they give you, you give back to them.
I try to do my best. Yeah.
So, okay, tell me about what it feels like when people approach you and they say, Jeremy, I only am here because of you. Like, what does that feel like for you?
It's very, I try, I do my best to stay humble and true to who I am. So when people come up to me, it's like, oh my God, thank you so much. Like, because it really does mean so much to me. It's just, even if I'm like playing for one person and that one person comes up to me and they're like, Jeremy, that was great. You
Yeah.
sounded good. Like, that was awesome. Like,
Yeah.
every single person that comes up to me, it's just so meaningful for me and I'm sure the other person. And I can't, it keeps me going. It really keeps me going.
Mhm. Yeah. And I think that's important because sometimes when you wake up, you're just not feeling it. Something's in your mind. You're having an off day, right? And then all of a sudden you think of one of the interactions that someone had with you and the heartfelt conversation that you had. And you're just like, oh my gosh, but what he said and that look he gave me is going to make me continue to do what I do and just remind me of why I'm here and what my purpose is.
Hmm.
Love
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that's a pretty good gist of it.
Yeah, because I think like right, like there's just some days we're just not feeling 100%. It's normal, right? It doesn't
Hmm.
matter
Absolutely.
like whether you love what you do, whether you're just kind of miserable, right? Like there's just days that you're gonna feel off, and sometimes you just gotta find it within yourself and just be like, I'm doing it for me, but I also have people that like love me and rally around me and support me. And I mean, definitely over these past couple months, I feel like your fan base is growing because you are playing out a lot,
Hmm.
right? So I feel like a lot of people are, oh my gosh, that's Jeremy. Plus, I feel like, wait, how tall are you? Like 6?
I'm 6'1" and like a
Okay.
quarter.
So you like stand out. Like you're not like 5'8", 5'10", right? Like normal guy height. So like you do stand out.
Mm.
So then
I
people are
like
like, yep,
to, it's the hair too.
it's the
The
it's the
hair
hair.
really makes you stand out too.
It's the hair. And people are like, yep, that's Jeremy. So
There's a
I
lot
wanted
of
to
people,
yeah.
sorry, I didn't mean to
No.
interrupt, but there's a lot of people that will also refer to me as like the boy with the hair or the kid with the hair. Like
Yeah.
whenever I'm being brought up in conversations, or like I'll just hear it in like the corner and I'm like, oh, what are they
I love it
saying?
though.
Like,
It's like
oh,
a
that
little bit
kid with the
long.
hair.
Yeah, you got a little volume going on. Do you gel it all, Earl, or do you just like comb it and just does that?
So my hair is not naturally like this. I have pin
Really?
straight hair, and
No.
the way I do it is either with a curling iron and like volumizing hairspray, or
Really?
I'll use a curling brush and a hair dryer. So I'm
Stop.
like
You do this
my own
every morning?
hairstylist. Yeah.
You do this, you poof your hair out every morning?
Yeah, almost every like whenever I'm gonna go out and do things, yeah.
Like, wait, so you use a curling iron and a blow dryer? Kind of? Like, sort of?
Yeah, I'll use a hair dryer and a curling brush and I'll just do it that way.
Yeah.
Or I'll take a curling iron, just
Oh my God, I love it.
put a
Can you
little
do, can you
hairspray
do
in.
mine? Can you do mine? I feel like you're a hairdresser. Like you don't want to tell people you're a hairdresser, but you are
Secretly, yeah.
secretly. I love it though. Like it works for you. Like I'm all about a good poof. I actually, I straightened my hair before this, which now I'm regretting because you have bigger hair than me. And I
Well,
love
thank you.
I like voluminous hair. I think it's like it makes you stand out more, right? Like everyone kind of you need something that differentiates you from other people.
Hmm.
Okay, I love your hair even more now. Now that I
Thank
know
you.
that there's like that like it doesn't look like this when you wake up.
Yeah, it
Heck
sucks because
yeah.
I look like one of those like early 2000s scene kids. It's super funny.
I love it. So, okay, let's talk about your guitar. Can you tell us about the origin and how long you've had it, etc.?
Hmm. So I actually have it right here.
Amazing.
I've always wanted one of these guitars, the American model. I could never
Mhm.
afford it because they're like $2,000-3,000. It's the John Mayer Silver Sky,
Mhm.
who was one of my huge influences. And when I saw
Yeah.
that there was this crossover with this company, PRS, which they make great guitars, um, and seeing him use it live, it's just I've always been like, I want a Silver Sky. I want one.
Yeah.
Um, and then I think I got this in 22. Um, he was releasing, well, not John Mayer, but PRS was releasing um, the SE edition, which is I think they're made in like Thailand or something. It's not made in America, so the parts are a lot more affordable, and it had a way better price point than
Yeah.
$3,000, $2,000. So
Mhm.
um, I begged my parents. I was like, "Oh, Dad, give me this guitar. Give me this guitar. I'm telling you, I need it. I need it. I need it. I need it." And finally, they got that for me, um, and I just started busting my ass and playing this thing every single day. Um, and then there's when I took it. It's gone places with me. It's done. That's my story is getting all over the place now.
Your
But
guitar has gone places. Where has it gone with you?
um, well, it's got me in a spot in the Blues Fest. It's been at every single gig that I've done.
Mhm.
Um, every single live performance I've had since I started gigging,
Mhm.
I've used this, and I brought it to a couple concerts, hoping to get it signed.
Yeah.
Um, and it's gotten signed every time, so I'm doing
Yay!
something
So you
great.
need to bring it to all the good concerts that you're going to.
Yeah, I it's only the ones where I'm like, okay, maybe there's a chance that I
Right.
could get their attention. Like if it's at some like big theater or an arena, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
no, no. But if it's like a bar or something, like where Philip Sace was playing, um, I'm like, okay, yeah. If it's at a bar, this dude's just gonna be walking around
Yeah.
like normal. So I want to try to get him to sign it.
Mhm. So yeah, because I feel like when people go to concerts, you can't bring much in to begin with. So how are you getting into shows with a guitar? Or is it just like these really tiny bar shows?
Yeah, it's either been at like really tall, really small bars or theaters. Whenever I've gone to see blues guitarists,
Mhm.
like Eric Gales, he was playing at Coho's Music Hall.
Mhm.
It's a nice little theater, and like right after he always meets with his audience afterwards at
Mhm.
like every single most of his performances, and I was like, you know what? I've seen him before. Didn't get a signature on my guitar, but it's gonna happen this time.
Yeah.
So I brought it, got a signature there, and I had a mostly meaningful interaction. I wish he said more because it was kind of like, "You enjoy yourself, good," but I wanted to be like, "Yo, man, you're fucking awesome. You're like one of my biggest inspirations," but I just couldn't speak. I was like, "Holy shit, Eric Gales! Oh my
Yeah.
god!"
But at least he signed your guitar.
Yeah, I'm super grateful for that, and for that, I just play my ass off in honor of him.
I love that. So who signed your guitar? Eric and
Philip Sace.
okay. So are you trying to get more signatures?
Yeah, I wanna have I want to be able to tell a story with my guitar. Like I could just look at it and there's like hundreds
Nice.
of stories all over it.
Yeah.
Um, and some of those I want it to be meaningful. Like I don't want to just go out and get my guitar signed just to get it signed. I want to
Right.
meet somebody like a guitarist who has inspired me
Hmm.
and be able to carry a part of them with me, I
Of course.
guess.
So, okay, I'm gonna put you on the spot. Who are like a couple that you're just like, gotta get that signature?
um, I want, if I could see John Mayer, that'd be sick.
Hmm.
Um, Kingfish. Uh, who else? There's a lot of just Eric Clapton,
Hmm.
Buddy Guy, just all the
Yeah.
greats that are still alive now that are just a
Yeah.
huge influence on me.
Hmm. Awesome. I am excited to know what the next signature is gonna be.
Me too. I'm hoping it'll be Kingfish. I'm going to see him out in Rochester, but he's playing at a festival, so I
Love
don't think
that.
there'll be a chance of me seeing
Well,
him.
no,
But
no, no, no,
it'd be sick.
no. We're gonna manifest this. We're gonna say you're gonna meet Kingfish. You're gonna bring your guitar, and it's gonna happen
Yeah, of
because you
course.
have to go there and you have to say it and you have to manifest it. Because when you like believe it and you say, I believe when you say things, they happen. Especially when you
Yeah.
say it on a live forum like this. Because once you say it, there's people that are gonna be like, Jeremy, I heard you say that.
Yeah.
Which can be both good and bad. But I believe in the power of manifestation and I believe in putting out good things into the universe because when you put goodness into the universe and you say, Kingfish is going to sign my guitar, I'm seeing him. Like it's happening. Like
Yeah,
it's not a question mark at the end. It's Kingfish is signing my guitar. Can't wait.
pretty much. Yeah, that's how I'm gonna have to look at it. And it's kind of how I am with playing. Like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to play this gig and I'm going to
Yeah.
be the best that I can be until
Hmm.
the best comes around.
Jeremy, it's you. It's you. So, what do you do to prepare for a gig? Like, if is there like any kind of something that you do?
um, so I do have a little smoke session with myself
Hmm.
or sometimes with other people, but
Hmm.
I like to go in my own little bubble, just have a moment, just be like, okay, really think about where I want my mind to be, where I want my focus to be. Throw on some music like either Stevie Ray Vaughan or Hendrix. Most of the time it's Hendrix, and just get a little stoned. I'll go
Yeah.
back in ready to play my ass off.
I love to ask that question because I feel like sometimes people like need a specific drink or they need to eat a specific snack or they just need to like maybe they need to be around people, maybe they don't want to be around people. I feel like it's a different answer for everybody.
Yeah, everybody has their own little way of getting in the mindset, I guess.
Hmm. So your band, Rattlesnake Trio, has been gaining significant attention in central New York. How was the band formed and how did the name Rattlesnake Trio come about?
So I think it was the first time I was playing at the Mohawk Valley Blues event, and excuse me, my drummer Lenny Printup, he saw me play, and he came up to me afterwards. He was like, "Hey, I'm from Onondaga. Let's get a native band together, do some native shit." And I was like, "Yeah, some native shit sounds cool." And then I I had to leave right after that, and I didn't get his phone number. And the next Mohawk Valley Blues event that I was playing, um, he had this lady come up to me. Oh, I forgot her name, but she was like, "Are you Jeremy? I just need your number. I hope it's not weird, but it's for Lenny Printup. He said he wanted to do a band with you." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, no problem." And then Lenny called me up. He's like, "Hey." do you want to do this? I'm serious about this. Let's do something. I was like, yeah, man, I've always wanted to do something like this. And he's like, all right, I'll see what I can put together for bass. I think I know a guy. And then uh, after that, we started practicing like in December, uh, like mid-December to like early January. That was where like our grind time was. We weren't
Mhm.
gigging or anything. We were just seeing how our chemistry was together. Um, and before that, Lenny and me would do like open mics together,
Mhm.
um, either at like Shifties or the Maplewood, wherever there was open mics, like the Night Drop. And that's how I got my name to spread around a little bit. And people would come up like, "Do you have a band?" I'm like, "Yeah, Rattlesnake Trio. Check us out. Check us out."
Yeah.
And the way the band name came, uh, we were playing this benefit for a biker who got in an accident, and he was a drummer, I believe. He very very talented musician, and um, Lenny called me up. He was like, "Hey, do you want to play at this spot? They're doing an open jam right now. You and I can go up. You can do some crazy shit." I was like, "Okay, yeah."
Mm.
So he picked me up. We ran over there and played played a couple Hendrix songs, and there was this big giant dude that came up to me. He comes, he's like, "Oh, you were really taming the rattlesnake, kid." And I was like, "Oh yeah, 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 yeah." And then I was like, "Yeah, Rattlesnake Trio. That's what I'll call us." And that's where it started.
Okay, so who is this guy? Does he know that like he's part of the band name?
um, haven't seen him since.
Really?
Yeah, I
Okay,
haven't seen him since that performance.
that's wild. And that like I want him to know that like he is the reason that it's called
Yeah,
Snake
me
Trio.
too.
Like
I gotta
guys,
thank him for
I feel
that.
like somebody in this chat knows who this guy is because apparently he like goes out and listens to music. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's I actually love that. I think that's such a fun story because it's just like he said this like really weird thing, and you're like, oh, that's funny. And now it's the band name.
yeah. I had a whole bunch of different names that I just was like, okay, none of this works. None of it just sounds corny. What the hell is this? And that was like the only thing that made sense to me because it had a story behind it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think sometimes like when you're racking your mind with like names of things, you're just like, I don't like this. I don't like that. I don't but like I think the story behind it is actually so funny. And kudos to that dude, wherever he is. I don't know where he is.
Yeah.
I feel like he's gonna come around, Jeremy. He's definitely coming around.
Oh yeah, I'll see him again. I cannot forget what he looks like. He really made an impression, especially with what he said, because I've never heard that before.
Yeah. Fans sometimes can say some very interesting things, sometimes good and sometimes bad. And you're like, wait, because you know, some people will be like, oh, Jeremy, that was amazing, like so awesome. And then sometimes people will say something and you're like, oh, I never even thought to say that. That like
Yeah.
now like, you're always gonna think of that dude because like who says that?
Yeah.
Heck yeah. A very cool story. So, in addition to your work with the band, do you have any other exciting projects that you're working on?
I'm trying to put a jam band together
Hmm.
so that I could start kind of experimenting more with the psychedelic genre
Hmm.
and that whole rabbit hole. So I'm trying to get a bass guitarist, a really good keyboard player.
Mhm.
Um, and I think I'm just gonna use Lenny as the drummer. Or there's this other kid that went to my school named Lucas Larrabee. He is fucking amazing on the drums. He was
Mhm.
um, all about Green Day, and whenever I heard him playing at school, he would just be going, just going. It was nuts. So if I could do something with him, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
yeah, the jam band, um, that's one of my side projects. That's called the Dissociates.
Mhm.
um, and my other project would be um, like my solo stuff, so just like an acoustic uh, singer songwriter kind of stuff,
Mhm.
soft rock. I kind of want to experiment with that more and see what I could do with that because I'm known for the electric guitar and the shredding, but not
Yeah.
some singer songwriter on the acoustic.
Yeah, I definitely am interested in hearing that side of you because I've seen you with the electric and I've seen you tear the stage up. But I really would love to hear that singer songwriter stuff from you. That'd be rad.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get it out soon. I might try to infiltrate it into the trio sets, so
Hmm.
that'll be a possibility too.
Good stuff. So you're rocking it with the group, but what are your thoughts on doing solo stuff?
Um, it's it's hard sometimes
Hmm.
because when you're doing solo stuff, you're not counting on anybody else.
Yeah.
You're and you don't see like when I go and I have like a writing session with the trio, it's kind of just like we jam.
Hmm.
I'll pick up on something that the drummer's doing or that the bassist is doing, or like we all pick up on each other. But
Right.
with solo stuff, it's like me just I really have to sit down and like manifest for a little bit
Hmm.
in order to really get something going. And it's all stuff that I have to like take time and like sit and write out like, okay, this is what I want this song to do and this is the story I want it to tell.
Hmm.
And I want that to connect to this song and that song needs to connect to this one, which is gonna be like a whole loop, like stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. So, okay. So the solo stuff, it's coming. The acoustic stuff is coming. The jam band is about to be put together. Rattlesnake Trio.
Hopefully.
Rattlesnake Trio is like out in full force, complete.
Yes.
So let's talk about your experiences in school, both musically and academically. How has that influenced your development as a musician and performer?
So I think this will kind of sound like a lot of other musicians.
Hmm.
School just wasn't my thing. It
Yeah.
really wasn't all ever since I've been going to school. I've never really been interested in it.
Hmm.
Um, but when I apply myself, it's like holy shit, this kid's like so
Yeah.
smart. But I'm like off doing all this, focused on other things,
Yeah.
not applying anything towards school because I have zero interest in it, and to me it was just holding me back from what I wanted to do.
Hmm.
Um, but school also did help me a lot with learning how to work within like a social setting,
Hmm.
and it gave me experiences that I needed now.
Yeah.
Or what am I trying to say? I've learned a lot from school,
Hmm.
just as a person, not even academically. Um, School's done a lot of good and bad things for me, and it's not like my school. It's just the people that I was around and
Yeah.
the stuff that I was doing. It just was not was not good.
Yeah. Yeah. I think high school is one of those things you're just trying to get by, Sometimes
Yeah.
sometimes you're with the wrong crowd. Yeah, high school is a very interesting time.
Hmm. Um, and I will not forget this. Sixth grade, uh, when I was in for our elementary school, sixth grade was still in elementary. I know for like a lot of other places, that's like middle school.
Yeah.
But for us, that was still elementary. And the teachers I had, I'm not gonna say names. I will not say names. But
They could be in here, so yeah.
they all had a meeting with me, like pulled me out during like our recess before lunch, and they were like, "Why are you bringing your guitar to school?"
Mm,
And I was like, "What about everybody else that is bringing their instruments that play here? Like people that are bringing trombones and all these brass instruments, violas, violins.
mhm.
Why is my guitar an issue?" Like that's what's going through my head. But at the time, I didn't have the guts to speak up and just speak up for myself. I didn't have it in me to do it at the time.
Yeah.
Um, and they were like, "So you can't be doing that. You can't bring it." And I'm like, "Well, okay. Well, what about recess? Like
Yeah.
that's free time." Yeah, you can't bring that to school. You just why are you even bring in your amplifier? Like it was just like it, it. I understand, I guess, what they were trying to do. They wanted me to focus more on school because again I didn't want to do my homework. I didn't want to do anything at school. So
Yeah.
but even so, that still upset me that they were kind of just like, yeah, you can't do that. Why are you bringing this here
Mm,
when there's other kids bringing instruments to school
yeah.
and playing there? Like I just it doesn't bother me anymore.
Mhm.
I forgive them. It's just like I can't forget that. It annoys
Yeah.
me a little bit still.
Yeah, I think it would annoy me too because it's just like when like you're a creative person, you want to express yourself in that way and you know what you want to do. And like I can see both sides of the equation. But also I think when you go through difficult things in school, in life, it's not always going to go your way, but you're always like, okay, I didn't love that situation, but like looking back on it, I know that that needed to happen for a reason. Whatever that reason may be, maybe you don't know that reason now. Maybe you'll find out what it is 5 years from now. But I think that sometimes when people and situations happen to us and we're just like, that's not cool, right?
Hmm.
And you're just like, you want to speak up and you know what I mean? Like I think life has a very interesting way of bringing us into different situations, some good and some bad, and it's just like you just gotta do what works best for you and you know that you're there that your love is music. So are you in college now?
Um, I'm trying to get into OCC to
Okay.
do their 2-year music program because they have a really, really good music program.
Hmm.
So I'm hoping to do that for the fall semester. And
Hmm.
when I wrap up with OCC, if I bust my ass and just prove that I can do what I can do, try to
Yeah.
transfer to SU
Yeah.
if I believe I'll still want to pursue studying music. Because
Yeah.
what I really want to do is just understand music theory. I don't know how to read music. I don't
Okay. Ooh,
understand a lick of music theory, and I've never had any
really?
lessons. Yeah,
So you can't read music?
no.
Okay. Okay, I did not know that. Okay, so you're just playing what you feel?
Pretty much.
Okay, so
I've
if I put a piece of music in front of you right now, you'll be like, "What the heck is this, Ashley?" I
Yeah, I
don't know.
would not be able to read it. I would not be able to be like, okay, is that that's a C, that's an A, and that note means like I don't know all
Wow.
that.
Okay, I definitely had no idea. about that that is honestly mind blowing to me because I've seen you play before, and to know that you don't read music is just like insane.
Yeah, and I've I've never had any like, I've tried to get lessons. I tried getting lessons once for
How'd that go?
guitar,
Yeah.
and it was kind of just me sitting and relearning the basics that
Yeah.
I've already kind of taught myself. Because they're
Uh-huh.
like, "Okay, this is the minor pentatonic scale, this is the major pentatonic scale. When you get good, you could play Mixolydian, you could do all this and that."
Yeah.
But I was like, "Okay, I don't have time to sit here and go through the same exact scale that I all you just saw me do."
Mm-hmm.
So I never stuck with lessons and kinda just, like, kept pursuing and just trying to recreate what I hear and what I experience.
Mm-hmm. Powerful. Because what you're experiencing and what you're giving to the universe is, as I said to previously, a religious experience. That's truly what it is, Jeremy. So, okay, we got to talk about this. The upcoming New York State Blues Fest.
Ah,
Talk to me.
yes.
How are you preparing for this? And what can the audience expect from your set?
Man, um, I'm still trying to figure that out with the trio. Um, but we plan to do all originals for the Blues Fest.
Hmm.
Um, so no covers. Well, we might cover Who Knows or Voodoo Child. Those are like some of our favorite songs to perform.
Hmm.
Um, but the plan is all originals, and um, we've kind of just been like trying to focus on stops and formula
Hmm.
so that we can get in like a groove of like that song goes like this is the pattern. Oh, that pattern can go to this.
Hmm.
Okay, I get it now. Like we're just trying to work things out so that we're nice and sharpened up for when the Blues Fest comes up.
Hmm. So, for people who do not know Jeremy Kennedy and have never heard of Rattlesnake Trio, how would you describe your live performance? Like what, like I would say like you're gonna get your face blown off. Like that's how I would describe it. But how would you describe it?
When I perform, I I try to leave an impression in that person's life. I want them to see that there's more than just like listening to live music. Like you can experience and you can feel it and you
Mhm.
can be in this crazy trance that music can like this journey that music can take you through.
Yeah.
And I try to do what I can to like bring like that psychedelic vibe into that and tie that into whatever it is I'm trying to project the audience to feel.
Hmm.
Um, and I like being able to carry very intense, like, holy shit, what is this kid doing? Like, I try to, I try to, like I said, bring back that intensity that, people had, like Stevie Ray Vaughan, Jimi Hendrix, Philip Sayce, just all those crazy musicians where their body is just like,
Yeah.
they're letting go and just letting the guitar do their work for them, letting the body
Yeah.
do the work.
And it's such a
That's
physical experience too. It's like it's so physical.
mhm.
Like the guitar takes over your whole being and you're like in a trance.
Yeah, that's that's what I like to do. It's really, really fun,
Yeah.
and I hope it's entertaining.
Oh, it is. It is. I feel like everybody who's watching this, who has seen you live, they're in the same boat. It's entertaining. It's an experience. It is like nothing you've ever seen before. High energy, electrifying, captivating. Like you feel like
Hmm.
you're in a trance, like you don't want to look away.
I like that.
Like it's like you can't take your eyes off of Jeremy.
Ooh.
Okay, there's some people
Well,
in this
thank you.
chat. Guys, there's some people in this chat. Just want to say hi to a couple people. Mike says, "Hey Ashley, what's up, Mike?" Tobert's in here, Glenn's in here. Canna Drew, love your brother. Tammy's in here, and Leland says, "Good work, boy." We have a couple minutes left in the show. Guys, if you have any questions for Jeremy, feel free to put them in the comments below. This is Jeremy's very first interview. So once again, Jeremy, so very honored that I am the first person to ever interview you, because I've done like, this is episode 228. So I've had a bunch of people on this show already. And a lot of people I've had,
Hmm.
they've had their stories out there. They've had articles written on them. And this is the first time you're actually like doing this in a public forum and people can watch and comment and all that good stuff. So guys, if you're in the house, if you're here live and you have a question for Jeremy, feel free to put it in the comments and we're going to hang tight. So, Jeremy, for people that love you, appreciate you, want to see you succeed, maybe don't know who you are, can you plug all your social channels where the beautiful people can follow you and find you?
Yeah, I've been working to I gotta what's the thing? Is it Linktree or
Yeah,
whatever? That
Linktree.
everybody uses to I
Yep.
wanna put that together.
Yeah.
That'll help. But everything's right on Instagram and Facebook.
Hmm.
But majority of the stuff I just uploads immediately to the Rattlesnakes Facebook page.
Hmm.
Um, I'm gonna post a little bit more of us performing on Instagram because it's just like there's like the posters of what we're playing there mostly, and not a lot of like what the trio's been doing.
Yeah. So, okay, so Blues Fest is in June. Uh, I feel like you probably have a couple gigs coming up between now and then.
Yeah, actually, we're oh, I'm not supposed to say
Oh,
anything,
okay, you're not supposed to say anything. Okay.
but I
Okay,
do. I can't. They said in an email I can't say anything until the
okay,
30th.
you can't say anything, but
But
me.
I am going to be playing um a really nice venue May 7th. We're going to
Okay,
be opening up for a band. Um and then we're going to do the Cortland Beer Company May 10th.
cool.
And I'm trying to book us more gigs around my area rather than Syracuse.
Yeah. So May 7th, you can announce that hopefully soon.
Yeah. After the 30th.
Okay, after the 30th, because I was like, wait, this is like April 27th. What, that date is approaching very soon. Also,
Yeah.
I think wait, it's May 10th, right? You said
the
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 gig?
one that I can't talk about
Or
or
May 7th?
May 7th is
May 7th.
yes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's right around the corner. So I feel like hopefully you'll announce it very soon so people can come and support. Good
Yeah.
stuff. Good
I'm really
stuff.
looking forward to it.
So Cars Wolf says, what's a cologne you're wanting right now?
Um I guess there isn't really a cologne I want right now because I have Carson. What the fuck? I have a few different fragrances that I wear. Um, I guess just more Spice Bomb Extreme. That stuff's pretty good.
Spice Bomb Extreme. I love it. I love the title.
Yeah, it's by what was it by Victor Golf or something like that,
Mhm.
and Paco Rabanne 1 Million Lucky. Those are like my two favorites.
Two faves. Two faves. All right. Tammy says, what nation and clan are you?
Well, mother, I am from the Oneida Nation, and I am Wolf Clan.
Okay. So Glenn says, where do you see yourself 10 years from now? Oh, hi, father and mother.
10 years from now, let's see, I'll be 29. By 29, I want to be able to say, I've done a lot for myself. I'm
Mhm,
successful and I'm happy where I am.
mhm,
Not that I'm not happy where I am now, but I want to be able to accomplish everything that I want to do
right.
and have that create a successful and sustainable lifestyle for me.
Mhm. So, what does success mean to you?
Oh, that's a good question. Um, for me, my success is when I have a certain goal set in mind, like I want to be able to perform like this. I want to do this. I have to keep running that through my head
Mhm.
to make that happen. And so that's a whole process in itself. um uh
You can get
never
back to
really
me on that because, right?
yeah, I've never really sat and thought about it.
I think it's
But
one of those questions you need to think about and sit with for a minute because I think the answer can change. I think it can
yes,
change. It
it
never should
most
be,
absolutely
never
can.
all be the same, right? Because success could mean happiness, could be mean doing what you love. It could, and then some people say, like, I need to win this specific award or I need to play this specific venue. And that's when they feel like they've reached a point of success. Or maybe they've made enough money doing their craft. So I'll let you sit with that, but and I'm going to ask you that question next time you come on the show. And I'm sure when you come on the show next, the answer is going to be different because you're going to have some
Oh
time
yeah,
to let it marinate in
absolutely.
there. You know what I mean? All right, last question. Tobert wants to know, what are your strengths and weaknesses?
Hmm. I'll start with my weaknesses. Um, because I do have a lot of different things, a variety of different things that I struggle with just to for a day-to-day basis.
Mhm.
And there's times where I'm not motivated. I don't even feel the desire to pick up the guitar or
Mhm.
do anything, kind of just sit and just, you know,
Yeah.
complain about where I am instead of doing something about it.
Mhm.
So I do find myself in states like that where I'm kind of just miserable. But I work through it and I know that things are only going to be better from here.
Yeah.
It's where I'm putting my energy and putting in the effort in to be the best I can. And for strengths, it's my strengths are guitar. um, I love music, and I have made the decision to dedicate my life and everything towards music. So there's also I have to sacrifice a lot in order to play how I do, and
Mhm.
so much time that that gets taken away. But for me, in my mind, it's towards something I want to do, and it'll work out for me in the future.
It definitely will. I am 200% sure it will. I think when you keep dedicating yourself to your craft and you love it and you're passionate about it like you do, and you one foot in front of the other every day, you get up, right? And you just do what you can do that day, right? Because some days we wake up, we're not feeling it, right? Like some days I would love to feel 100% every day too, but sometimes I wake up, I'm like, today's not going to be the day. It's going to be a crap day,
Yeah.
right? And then you're just like, oh, I got to push through it. And then you just kind of try to find ways to be like, no, but I want to keep doing this. This is what I love. And I think just one foot in front of the other and just be better than you were yesterday. And I know it's going to pay off for you. And Jeremy, that's all the time that we have for this evening. I'm so very honored that I was your very first interview. It's always going
Of
to be
course.
it's always going to be something I can say is like I was your first interview, and you can always say I was Ashley. Yeah, Ashley was my first. I'm so grateful that I can be part of this journey with you. And please come back on the show, Jeremy, because like this is I'm going to be on this journey with you. And I love to have people come on second, third, and fourth times anytime they want to talk about anything, whatever it might be. And so this was truly a pleasure and an honor. I wish you lots of peace, love, success, and blessings. And guys, if you don't already, please make sure to follow Jeremy on Facebook, on Instagram. He's playing in Central New York. And please, guys, come to the New York State Blues Fest in June. Jeremy is going to blow your face off. Like I'm telling you right now. I don't even know what the set looks like. I don't know what the songs are going to be, but I can guarantee you it will be an amazing time with amazing musicians. And Jeremy, can you please do a hair tutorial and put it up on social media? Like
I'll
not even
have to. I don't
like
know if I can
like
do that.
I
I've
feel like
already said enough about
I
it.
feel like it needs to happen though, because like I'm honestly I am mesmerized by you as a person, but like the hair, I can't stop thinking about it. I like cannot stop thinking about your hair. I'm like, Jeremy, come on. Like now there's gotta be like a TikTok tutorial of like how you do your hair.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
That's
okay.
like it's like
Okay.
my identity.
I
I have
know.
to be like, okay, here's how
It
you
works.
look like me. Make
But
sure your hair's at this length and then do
I know.
this, do that.
But guess
Get the
what?
hairspray in there.
It works for you, Jeremy, and I love it. And guys, thank you so much for joining us this evening. Make sure to follow Jeremy if you're not already. And if you're new here, I'm Ashley Live. This is Vibin with Ashley Live. Guys, hit that like button, subscribe, and please feel free to join my next interview. I interview incredible musicians all the time. Jeremy, thank you so much. So amazing. And have a wonderful evening.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for the
Bye.
opportunity.
Of course. Thank you so much.